Here on the OCU Athletics Update, we're talking to Delaware Resource Group Superstar Athlete of the Week, Korey Walker, junior All-American wrestler for OCU, who placed in the Hastings Cusatis Open this past weekend. And Korey, you sat out last season. What's it been like being back on the mat this year?
It's been, I loved it and I hate it. You want to come back in and you want everything to be just the way you left it when you left, and it wasn't. I came back in, I was super heavy, had to get off about 65, 70 pounds, just knocked the rust off. I had knee surgery, so knee was acting weird, and it was just a lot of ups and downs and a lot of struggles. But being back down the weight and back in shape, and just being able to roll around with the guys in the room and things like that, it's been really fun, and I'm enjoying it. It's just like it was before now. So it's been really fun.
2 pins this past weekend at the Hastings Open. What went into your performance?
A lot, actually. Pretty much everything. I wasn't feeling real good leading up to it. Mentally wasn't there before the tournament. It kind of took, some encouragement from coach and things like that just to kind of get me to where I needed to be. A lot of me in my head, I was just like, I'm go to this tournament and not do too hot because I don't feel well. But I went ahead and I got down the weight, feeling a little under the weather. Got down the weight, and I was like, well, I'm down the weight, so all there is to do now is just wrestle. So went against the NAI opponent my first match, and was fortunate enough to get the pin. Second match, kid was kind of tough from Colorado School of Mines. I was basically just in my head, I just was telling myself to score points. That's always been a big issue of mine since probably my senior year of high school, is just scoring points. I try and win a match. I try to score as least amount of points as I can and win matches by 1 or 2 points. But sitting out last year kind of helped me reevaluate some things, and I just wanted to go out there and try and get the job done, and I was able to get those 2 pins.
Couple of wins on the year for you against NCAA Division I opponents, as well as a dramatic win at the Central Oklahoma duel as well. What have been some of the highlights for you this season?
Central Oklahoma was definitely a big highlight for me, just because there's always been some kind of tension between us and them. I noticed it my freshman year here, and I love those guys over there. They're all really cool. I grew up wrestling with those guys, and me and Blake, the guy who I wrestled against, me and him are really good friends and things like that. But that was definitely a big win for me, just to kind of get back into it. And the OCU Open, wrestling in front of the home crowd, that was a big deal. And I was also wrestled a couple Division I guys there, and it was just fun getting back into things and kicking off the season right. And then Lindenwood was actually probably my favorite tournament. I think I performed my best there at that tournament. Wrestled a Division I guy right off the bat, and then ended up losing to 2 Division I guys from Iowa State, but I got 4th at that tournament as well, and I feel like I did some pretty good wrestling and was able to battle back in a couple matches. So in all, it's been a pretty solid season, but I definitely, for me, the UCO duel and then the Lindenwood Open have been probably my highlights of the season.
You guys have 3 All-American heavyweights in your room.
Yes,
Does that ever happen? And what is that like, having that kind of competition within your own team?
I've never heard of it before. I was really excited last year when I saw that those guys were able to go out and All-American. And I was like, we're all coming back. There's going to be 3 heavyweights literally in one room, 3 All-American heavyweights. And I don't think any other school has ever had that before. And it's actually, we make each other better. It's Gage is young. He's sitting out this year. Me and Bryson, we've been going at it since, the summer going into our freshman year here, and we've always, had close matches, gone head to head, and we just make each other better, and it shows on the mat. But I'm really fortunate to have those guys, that I can drill with every day, and guys who know what it takes to get to the All-American status. And so now the goal is national championship for every single one of us, and I believe that it can happen. And so we're just going to keep beating up on each other and keep working and pushing each other until it does. So.
What was it like for you to become an All-American?
It meant everything, Coach Archie Randall, who was our coach at the time, my freshman year, the whole season he kept telling me, you just try and make it. You don't have to try and dominate. Just try and make it, and you're going to be an All-American. And I didn't believe it at first. I'm like, well, I need to go out there and crush these guys if I want an All-American. And But I just kept telling myself, just, patience is key. Do what you need to do. Just, one step at a time. And went into the national tournament my freshman year, wrestled the number 2 seed right off the bat. Ended up beating him pretty handily. And then, wrestled a guy who I had wrestled earlier in the season who had beat me by a point, and I beat him pretty handily. And made it to the semis, and it was pretty fun. Ended up losing, but I battled back and got fourth. And that was kind of when I knew that I could do something special. It meant a lot to me, coming to All-American in my freshman year, and that's when it kind of first set in. And I was like, I can really make some noise and do some big things here. So that was kind of really the starting point of my whole, the change in my mentality towards wrestling and what I can do and how I can perform. So it's been really fun.
What impact has Coach Sam Hayes-Winkle had on you as a wrestler? Oh
man, he's literally, for me, it's been a complete 160 or 180. I'm sorry, a complete 180, and really on the program too. It's one of those things where at this point in the season, in the past, for a lot of teams, guys are just kind of burned out and hurting and things like that. But in the past, it's kind of felt like a job somewhat. And I can't really remember the last time that I've actually enjoyed and had fun, like in practice, in the matches and things like that, just all around every single aspect of wrestling. And this year has been just absolute fun. It's been crazy. Our team, we've always been a close team, but this, the group of guys we got this year, I love every single one of them. I'm proud to call them my brothers. It's just been really, really cool. And Coach Sam and Coach Josh have made a huge impact on the team this year. And, our assistant coach, Coach Josh, has been working with us heavyweights and has been showing us some things that we can do as far as to kind of small things here and there that we can change in our matches and things like that. So it's just kind of been really, really a learning experience more than anything. Just kind of learn what I can do and adapt and things like that. And so all in all, it's just been really, really cool just to see myself and how I've been able to progress and get better just by the simple things that they've been showing us. So it's been really cool.
One of those guys that's in the room with you is your brother.
Yeah.
RJ's on the team.
It is.
So what's it been like having him on the squad with you?
Oh man, it's just the same as it was back when we were 5. My mom has these pictures of us from when we wrestled Little League. I'm in the stands and he's in the stands right in front of me. My senior year of high school, we took the same picture. And so I've been bugging her about, well, my senior year next year, we need to take that same picture when he's here, and it'll be, Little League, high school, and college, and we're still in the same team. And it's just been awesome. We butt heads like any other brothers would. We get into it and we fight, but at the end of the day, he knows I got his back. And I know he's got mine. And so it's been like that. I love him to death. I do anything for him. And I'm just hoping that, he can go out there, get past, he's got medical issues, and he can go out there and do what he needs to do to have success on the mat. But I'm proud of him. I'm proud of everything he's doing. So,
what brought you here to OCU?
Really just the thought of being able to come out here and compete young. Got recruited by quite a few schools, and a lot of them were, talking about me having a red shirt my first year and things like that. And that's not really something I wanted to do. The plan was to graduate in 4 years and get done wrestling in 4 years. And so OCU and Coach Randall and Coach Campbell at the time, they were just like, you can come in and make some noise and, you'll be in and out of here, but we need a heavyweight. And she doesn't know this, but my girlfriend actually had a lot to do with it as well. She knew that I was getting recruited by OCU and decided to apply, got accepted, and then received a scholarship that she was just like, oh, well, there's no sense in me going anywhere else. I'm getting, to go here. And then I was like, And so then eventually I went ahead and signed my letter of intent and got some good news about, scholarships and me being a religion major. They helped me out quite a bit, and it's been a blast. I love the religion school is awesome. I love everybody there, the staff, the students, the professors. It's been really fun. And so now that I've been here, just the family that OCU has, I've yet to witness it from any other campus that I, toured and things like that during my recruiting process. But everybody's here as a family, any school you get into and things like that, there's just a bond that I've developed with the professors and the faculty here and things like that, and the students. I couldn't ask for anything else.
So as a religion major, what kind of career goals do you have for yourself following wrestling?
So I am the president of FCA here on campus, and one thing that I've actually been really kind of pondering on and looking into is possibly going into FCA when I graduate here and working for Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Being an area representative somewhere and ministering to middle school, high school students, college level students, wherever they want to put me. But I also have a criminal justice minor. And one thing that I've really been passionate about is law enforcement and possibly going into working as a police officer when I graduate. And so that's also an option. So I have a few different ideas what I want to do. And hopefully by graduation time, it'll be narrowed down. But I still got a couple years or a year and a half. So it'll go by fast, but I'm excited. I'm excited for what the future holds. So.
All right, that's Delaware Resource Group Superstar Athlete of the Week, Korey Walker. You can follow the stars on OCUsports.com.
What I've learned the most from golf is to have integrity in everything you say and do.
One of the biggest lessons of that sports impacts my daily life is discipline.
Be a champion of character, it just means to realize first that you're a part of something that's bigger than yourself.
Being a part of NAIA is something that I'm going to keep with me forever because it's not only made me a better athlete, but it's made me a better person.
The NAIA really just cares about their student athletes and just the experience in general at the school, and I think that's really important.
The NAIA stands for, has great core values. One that's most important to me is servant leadership. Being able to serve your community is a huge reason why I chose the NAIA.
I am a champion of character.
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 Here on the OCU Athletics Update, we're talking to women's basketball coach Bo Overton. The Stars once again ranked in the top 10 in the NAIA. And coach, calling card this year has been your defense. The best team in the NAIA as far as field goal percentage defense is concerned. What has caused your team to be so good defensively?
Well, I just think we've done a really good job of getting back and keeping people from getting easy shots in transition. That's kind of been just the number one thing we try to do in practice, talk about all the time, not giving teams easy baskets in transition. And then it just flows from there, because then it goes from there to not giving teams layups in the half court. When you have people like Taylor Sylvester and Taylor LaCour and Abby comes in the game and Joe, we've got size inside that can deter that. And so now you're making people make shots from the outside, and hopefully, then your other players can get up and contest, and that's just kind of the base, and you go from there. And I think we've done a great job with that.
A big part of that is shot blocking. Your team set a school record earlier this year against Philander Smith for most blocked shots in a game. What does it take to be a good shot blocking team? Because that's really more of an individual skill.
Well, I think first of all, the fact that Taylor Sylvester's 6'5", but she's really got a unique skill in that she does a great job of helping her teammates, of protecting the basket. So not only is she covering her man, but she usually gets the blocks on helping people, and she's got a really good skill at doing that, and that's kind of the centerpiece of how our defense is built. Then it just builds out from there, and you're not going to find a better athlete than Taylor LaCour. And then our wings are long and big with Nashyla and Peyton Taylor, and so our team's just kind of built on that, and then they execute the plans well, and it just starts from there.
You've got two seniors on this team, Michaela Kay and Taylor LaCour, as well as two other returning starters from last year, Peyton Taylor and Nashyla Hammonds. But none of those four are leading your team in scoring. What do those players do to help this team be better?
Well, I think that you just hit it right on the point there, because basically that's four starters, if you count Michaela, back from last year. and you know, we added some good players, and for them to kind of realize this is how we can win if I do this. And sometimes that doesn't have anything to do with scoring. You know, it has to do with, you know, Peyton Taylor's such a skilled, good passer. Nashyla Hammond's such a good passer to the post players. You know, Michaela Kay handling the ball. You know, all these players that have returned have really embraced the new players coming and the skills they have, which some of the new players are just better at getting the ball in the basket. So I think that shows a lot from them, our returners, the experience they have, and that what they've done to just help us win. And, you know, at the end of the day, you talk to these players, and when we're together, it's, you know, what do we got to do to win? And I think they've really embraced that and done a great job with that.
Your two leading scorers for the year are freshmen, Abby Seltzer, Mallory Lockhart, at 1 and 2 as far as your scoring is concerned. Mm-hmm. What did they do to prepare themselves to contribute this early?
Well, I think first of all, you know, I watched them in high school, and both of them had really good high school coaches. And I think both of them love to play. There's a lot of times I come in this gym, you know, at night, you know, 7:30, 8 o'clock, and they'll be in there shooting and messing around. And so number one, they love to play. They've had great coaches, and if you look at them, both of their skill sets, one of them can score inside, one of them can score outside. So they complement each other so well. They complement our team so well because of that. And I think when you put all that together, it's a really a good fit for our team.
Has there been anything from either a team aspect or an individual player aspect that has surprised you from where you thought this team might be at the beginning of the year?
I think we've talked about it a little bit. I think for the freshmen to start so well so early has been a little surprise. But and then, like you said again, you know, the seniors and the returnees just putting everything about winning. You know, putting everything about winning first, and that's where you see that defense numbers you talked about. We just have a really good mix of players. You know, we've got those 4 returnees, but then when you talk about bringing people like Brennan Siegler off the bench, Brennan could start for anybody in the country. Shamika Smith, her speed and quickness, you know, and what she does for our team. And then we've talked about Taylor Sylvester. So we really have a good mix of older players, younger players, length. We can put a fast team, we can put a big team. So I think the thing right now is just us getting better and better each week, each game, each week. And that's what we've talked about this week. You know, we have 4 games this week, and not a lot of time to practice, but it's fun because we get to go playing games. But at the end of this week and at the end of these games, we got to make sure we're better as a team.
We talk all the time about how the Sooner Athletic Conference is one of the best leagues in the country,
Mm-hmm.
but on top of just being really good competition, you got to pack in this conference schedule pretty hard. And you talked about having 4 games this
Mm-hmm.
week. How do you handle just kind of the day-to-day activities having so many game nights?
I would think that this preparation started maybe a month ago, you know, 6 weeks ago, talking about getting a base on defense of how we want to play, and then getting just a normal base on offense where you can play against man or zone, a fast team, a big team, and I think that's what we have. We have a good mix of players that can do those plans, and then it's just about, I think as you get to this part of our schedule, it's about, well, we got to play hard. You know, we got to be that team that's more physical, plays hard, gets to loose balls, gets every rebound, because these players are good enough. You know, they're skilled, they can shoot, they can score. They're good enough to do all that. If we're playing hard and if we're physical, because, you know, as you know, we get everybody's best shot, or it feels that way. It just feels like everybody plays great against us. They play hard against us, and we have to make sure that night in and night out we match that.
All right, that's women's basketball coach Bo Overton. You can follow the Stars on OCUsports.com.